Where do I start? Let's start from the beginning. I was performing a trick for Siegfried and Roy, and you know I wanted to do something special, something more. I wanted to bring. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm getting goosebumps. I wanted to bring reverence back to magic. So I was performing one of my signature card routines, which is when their selection gets lost in the middle, and then you snap or you blow, and the card ends up being on top. It's I probably shouldn't divulge it here, but it's a good trick, all right, to say the least. But this trick that I was doing, this effect, I should say, I was here and I was at this point and I wanted to step up the reveal, right, with a magical sort of gesture. And normally I would snap, or if I'm feeling, you know, ambitious, I would blow. These two have been my inspiration since day one. So I was trying to think of something, and I just couldn't put my mind on it. I just sat there and I looked at the card for a second. I said, if I could just, and that's when it hit me.
From the creator of Snap. Blow and Blow 2.0 comes this year's most anticipated release. The most deceptive magical gesture to date. Available.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little trailer. If you want to learn Fliq, coming spring of 2018. Today we're going to address one thing. We're going to address magic trailers within the magic industry. So, for those of you new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. As a magician myself, I've worked in the magic industry and behind the scenes in production, in marketing, in packaging, labeling, and all that stuff. And one thing we do in the magic industry is we create cinematic trailers in order to sell a magic effect. Here's the fine line. Selling a magic trick online to other magicians. The commodity itself is secrets. What we're selling is secrets. I'm selling you something that you're not supposed to know how to do. That's the general premise in a nutshell. I'm trying to sell you something, but I can't tell you how it's done. However, I can't lie to you either. Let's say this effect allows you to change a card into another card at your fingertips. Well, I have to show you the effect, ideally in an uncut performance, because we all know that if there's a camera cut, we just think production has taken that out in order to conserve the method, not to give anything away. And that's when you start lying. That's kind of like a lie. Another way people, and I've used this as well, to avoid the camera cutting or panning away is using two camera angles and then jumping from one angle to the other. Feels more organic. It feels like it's just rolling along, and it doesn't feel like a jump cut. It feels like it, but you can cut a whole portion of the effect out between those two transitions and no one would be the wiser. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna break down a magic trailer basically and talk to you about what factors go into creating a magic trailer, what is deemed by the industry as acceptable within a magic trailer, and what is completely unacceptable. So for the most part, magic trailers, they're looking a lot like Michael Bay cinematic trailers. You got dubstep, 3D lettering, badass people putting on sunglasses and taking them off, maybe exploding cars, that type of thing. So this is all like the B-roll sort of to get you enticed, to make us look cool and to try and sell the product. But the core of a trick is the trick itself. That is king in the industry. If it is a good effect or routine or whatever, that is really what's gonna drive sales, right? If it's a mediocre trick, then you kind of have to elevate it with the cinematic value to get that perceived value of the trick so that the end user ends up buying it. So something to consider when creating a magic trailer is, can I perform this without camera cuts? And if so, can I perform this without the camera panning away? It's just as bad as a camera cut. Like if I'm here, the cameraman knows what the move is, so he goes to the spectator and comes back. It's just as fishy, right? Because here's the thing, you're paying for this, right? So you don't want to be deceived. You don't want to be lied to. But then again, what you're buying is something completely unknown and you're completely aware of that. So if I told you how it was done in the trailer, there's a big fat chance that you wouldn't buy it. So how to tiptoe around that? That's kind of what magic trailers have gotten to. It's become an art form to create a trailer that doesn't give anything away, that leaves you wanting more, and that doesn't lie to you. So it's become kind of like a trend where most trailers are just reaction shots, shots of the artist, sick cinematic B-roll and music with only a small fraction of the trick in there. The reason why is because the audience, the people watching now, you guys are smart. You're getting smarter. You've seen more trailers. You're on YouTube, obviously, so you know about more methods. You're taking more and more guesses about the effect in the comments, right? Not only is this not kosher for people to do, like it's not cool to be like, I know how it's done, but good job, bro. Like these type of comments are so irritating to the creators because we know how the method's done. We don't need to be told how it's done. Obviously you want to bolster your ego and show other people that you know the method as well and you're not fooling anyone because it's this. And that's the sort of gray area within magic trailers. It's such an interesting thing to me. I start thinking about, okay, well, how can I present a trick without giving away the method, without lying to you, without cutting away? How can I sell you a secret? There are different ways of doing that. For example, in my download Voodoo, I didn't want to go the trailer route. I didn't want to take the whole cinematic route with the trailer. I've done that plenty in the past. It was fun to do, but I wanted to be more authentic and honest with the buyer, letting them know kind of what they're buying and letting them know that I'm not going to tell them how it's done and they're not going to get it for free. And this I've worked really hard on. Here is a performance of it. By doing that, kind of step around the trend in the industry right now. And I'm not saying that that's the only way you should do trailers. I'm not even saying I'll do that again, but I'm saying I'm always looking to create a new angle on how to pitch a product, but at the same time remain completely transparent, not lie, but let them know that I'm selling them something that they don't know the method to. I know this sounds all complicated, but that's what the magic industry is right now. That's what it's gotten to. People are really upset with trailers. They're kind of getting sick of the whole cinematic angle and the whole bad boy persona within trailers and stuff. And although appealing to the eye, it comes off as overdone, overused. We've all seen it. Now, where does the disappointment from the people come from? It comes from them buying the product, receiving something, and being really, really disappointed with the method or the effect. Essentially, if you see a trick, it's all cut up cinematically, there's a big hype, they've been teasing it for weeks, there's teasers and all of this, and boom, you buy it, you get the product, and bleh, you can't really perform it. It's not really something you can do. It'll take ages of practice. It's crazy to reset. That's where the disappointment comes from, and that's why people comment. So I get that, and I completely understand a lot of people's frustration with that part of the industry. Trailers will even throw in things like no strings or thread, no magnets, no flap. I'm doing the trailer guy voice. No flaps, instant reset. So these are all keywords that are used in either ad copy or trailers that these companies use. Let's say I'm selling the snap change, which is this, changing one card into another. So what are things that I can tell you about this? No gimmicks, no threads, no magnets, instant reset. What I can't tell you is you end clean. I can't tell you that it's a single card, but I can tell you that the card is examinable, completely examinable. Another example of this is in mentalism. When a mentalism effect is sold, now here, be careful, be really aware of this. You either have someone saying, a thought of card. Now that sounds amazing. A thought of card produced at the fingertips. Like that's an instant buy. What? A thought? They just thought of it? And then it appears at the fingertips? But here's the wordplay. What about a freely thought of card? This changes everything because now this puts in question what a thought of card is. So maybe a thought of card is, here, have a look at this card and I want you to think of it. What card are you thinking of? Four of Hearts. Right there, thought of card, you thought of it, Four of Hearts. See where I'm getting at? So there's a type of deception that happens in magic trailers. All of these techniques are used within the magic industry constantly to sell things. Now the whole point of this video isn't to bash companies, it isn't to say what's right, what's wrong, but it's to start a conversation, because I'm genuinely interested in what you guys feel like. Without my opinion, you know, affecting you, I kind of want to know if you guys like the cinematic style, if you enjoy seeing the effort put in behind production for a trailer to look really badass, or do you guys appreciate just a straight up performance of the trick with no music and filmed on an iPhone? Personally, I think my personal preference lies somewhere in between. If it feels organic, it feels live, it feels unprompted and unstooged, and it's all about feeling for me. It's not about certain things, it's about feeling. How does this trailer leave you feel? Do you feel like you trust me enough to buy this? Do you feel like I'm being honest and telling you that this is going to be put straight into your walk around repertoire? You know, and that's the type of thing that I look for when creating a trailer myself, or in looking at trailers that I want to buy. I want to see how I feel about it. I can look at a trailer, and because they're holding their hand like this or like this, right? I kind of know there is something's going on with the hand, right? That obviously doesn't leave me with an explanation to how the trick works, but it does give me a clue. But I look at it from a position of a creator myself, and when I see that, I think, well, that's something that can go completely unnoticed by a spectator if done correctly. That's something that I can put the time in and I can get around to create this effect. What I'm purchasing is not only the secret, but everything around it, which is obviously the production value, the secret itself, maybe because there's bonus handlings, maybe there's an interview with the creator afterwards, maybe there's, teaches you how to reset it, teaches you how to do it ungimmicked and gimmicked. And so all of these things add perceived value to the product, which hopefully entices you to buy it. I remember at one point when trailers were coming out, they would actually say, shot in 1080p HD, right? Like that was like the big thing. It was like, oh my God. It's just perceived value. I think as a consumer, we appreciate perceived value because it adds to the buying experience, and it adds to the experience of opening or watching the product, and it adds to that feeling, how I'm left feeling about the product. So I think perceived value actually is very important and very valuable, although a lot of people just want the secret. But don't be deceived by all perceived value, because sometimes they say bonus handlings, and basically in translation, in layman's terms, what bonus handlings mean, stuff that I'll never in 1,000 years use, but here you go anyways. And that's basically what every bonus on every DVD is just basically the creator being like, or you can do it with a blue deck, or you can do it with your left hand. Obviously there are exceptions, but as a generalization, don't be sold by the bonus routine. So that's it, kind of just a rant, kind of just wanted to talk about magic trailers for a second. I've got so much in my mind about magic trailers because I've worked in the industry, and I've worked behind the camera, in front of the camera, I've worked in editing and in ad copy, which is the little paragraphs underneath the product. There is nothing else like it out there. There's nothing like this in terms of marketing. This is uncharted marketing territory, which is super rare because everybody knows everything about marketing these days. Everybody's a branding guru. And I love the fact that the audience is getting smarter. I love the fact that more people are knowledgeable about methods and stuff. So then it puts into question, well, what is the point of buying it, right? We have to sort of reevaluate what it is we're doing as creators, creating something, and as a consumer, we have to reevaluate why it is that I'm buying something. And once you have a good grasp of those ideas, new things start coming out. But it's a constant evolution, and obviously technology is growing a lot, so there are a lot of camera edits that people do. But hey, it leaves us in a place where we're still discovering, we're still coming up with things, and it is a vital part of the magic industry. Just some thoughts about that, food for thought. Let me know what you guys think about magic trailers. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Do you guys appreciate a trailer? Do you guys would rather like an uncut performance? Like, I'm just kind of curious about your buying experience. Have you ever been really disappointed with an effect? Or are you from the school of, hey, I'm gonna put this in my magic drawer and eventually get to it, so it's a good purchase? Whatever, enough ranting. Let me know how you guys feel about that, and like this video, subscribe if you're not already, and guys, we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Ooh, by the way, my buddy Wes Barker from BC is flying down, and we're gonna 1v1 him on basketball. He's put me up to the challenge, so not looking forward to that at all. All right, peace guys. Bye.